So we're going to get this party started with a prayer and a blessing. We have Amy Kresge here. She's going to start us off with that prayer. And thank you, Amy.
Hello, everyone. So glad to be here. Okay, so honored to pray with you all. I place my hand on my heart and welcome you all to take a few deep breaths, filling your body with grace and gratitude as we really allow ourselves to connect with our essence, the stillness inside, the truth of who we are, that God consciousness, that space within us that is eternal, that knows who we are, that knows the truth of us, and is just complete love. So grateful and thankful to come together today in celebration of our divine oneness. So grateful and thankful to help each other remember the truth of who we are, which is love, peace, joy, creativity, grace. So grateful and thankful that we are so loved and so guided on every step of this path of our journey. So grateful and thankful to remember that each of us is the essence of God, perfect, pure, and whole in every way, and so loved beyond imagining. Together we see the face of Christ in one another and in ourselves, helping us to let go of any false beliefs we may have. Together we rise, together we are love, one love, and together we are so holy. In gratitude and profound grace, we let it be. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
You're coming in loud and clear to me, but I've had challenges with my internet today. So somebody let me know, just like unmute and let me know if I don't sound clear. So thank you. Well, now I get to introduce Reverend Leon Campbell, who, oh boy, he's such an accomplished person. But first, I'll tell you that we have known each other for a long time, maybe since 1997. And we were in classes, pre-practitioner classes at Agape together. We were in practitioner training at Agape together. And that's where we first became prayer partners and friends. And then we were in ministerial school together, and we were prayer partners again and study partners. And so we've known each other a long time, and we've seen each other grow up into practitioners and ministers of truth. And Reverend Leon has so many accomplishments as a minister, but I'd like you to know that he also is a powerful, inspirational speaker and an absolutely just inspired musician and singer. So we're getting a double dose today. I'm just going to highlight some of his accomplishments because there are so many. He has, since 2004, run the Agape Youth and Family Ministry as the lead minister there. So he has developed this program. They serve over 1,000 children a month. It's one of the largest spiritual youth communities in the United States. And he has put into place so many different programs for them, scholarships and youth camp, week-long youth camp, and all kinds of programs. He's participated in other events and programs around the world with other spiritual leaders. And he has a young men's mentoring program that he established, and it's been going strong for over a decade with scholarships and other wonderful things that are being offered to the youth of Agape. He also runs the men's ministry, which he's also was one of the founders of at Agape, and has been doing that for many years. I think, gosh, I don't know, it was when we were first in ministerial school, I think. So, and because of all his extraordinary work, he's also received an honorary doctorate degree from the Agape University. So I am so pleased that you're here with us, Reverend Leon. Thank you for joining us and starting us off with a song.
First of all, Jennifer, I want to congratulate you because I signed on early and I just been listening to the beautiful music and the quotes from the Course in Miracles. And I want to say that I'm filled already. I'm just completely filled. And because I can feel the love that you and your team have created here. And I just want to congratulate you for this and more. Wow. I mean, I'm sorry to take this time on this, but there was one song that was playing and it said, "You didn't know that you were enough." And what if I told you you were loved? How beautiful. How absolutely beautiful. So I'm filled already. So I don't know where to go from here right now because that's my morning is done. So, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. But but I do want to do this song, and I think about Joel Goldsmith when he talks about prayer, and he says that prayer is when we listen to God, not when we're saying all of our stuff, our monologue, and. And he says it's when we stop and we begin to listen to God, and when you hear God utter its voice, the whole earth melts. And so I want to do this song. It was written by Reverend Ricky, but it's called "Wait on the Lord." And so I'm more and more each day, I'm beginning to practice just listening, and I get out what I have to say, but I know that that's not as important as listening to what God has to say. And it goes like this. You are my joy. You are my joy. For beyond my doubting heart is your joy. So sweet, too sweet to not know, to not know. You are my path, you are the song. Deep within my desperate cry is your song of love, too strong to deny. And I will wait for you, oh God, listening for all that I am, knowing your love has pulled me through. I'm waiting here for only you, only you. You are the answer. Feed my heart and feed my soul with your joy. So sweet, this joy I must know. And for I wait on the Lord. I wait on the Lord. I wait on the Lord. And I will wait for you, oh God, listening for all that I am, knowing your love has pulled me through. I'm waiting here for only you, only you. You are the answer. Feed my heart and feed my soul with your joy. So sweet, this joy I will know. So I wait on the Lord. 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 And so I wait. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, my heart is lifted and full.
Thank
Yes.
you, thank you, thank you.
Ah, thank you. Oh my gosh, I feel restored.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Mm,
Wow.
mm. And so we're wow, it's what a great thing to be able to sing that song and lay that platform. Now you can lay on top of that your beautiful message.
Yes. Well, I want to, again, I can't say it enough. I want to congratulate you again. I didn't know you were in Vermont, but what a gift Vermont has received, because I've known you for quite some time. And wow, I'm going to just take my popcorn out and just watch you. But I want to say that I've been traveling virtually around the country, talking about what now. And what now is a channeled talk. I was watching CNN one day in April, a little bit after COVID showed its face, right? It was there all the time. It showed its face, right? And so it showed its face, and all of a sudden I heard this voice say, "Okay, shut the television off." And I was hesitant, and it said, "Shut the television off." And so I shut the television off, and all of a sudden I heard this voice say, "So what now? Now that you have all this information, now that you've been presented with this uncertainty, with this change, what are we to do now?" And immediately I said, "Well, you're God, so you tell me what now." And so all of a sudden, nothing. I just sat there, and all of a sudden I was flooded with these insights, flooded with these revelations about unlimited possibilities still exist for each and every one of us, and that we are to shift our focus. We are to become present. We are to open this present moment that we all have been given, to come out of the past, to step out of the future and get present moment. And it was significant to me because uh, I had not been spending my time lately in the present moment. But I noticed when I spent time in the present moment, it was like I was ushered into a whole new level of life. It was like it was another layer of living there. And one of the reasons why this is important is because when we begin to live in the present moment, that's the only time we can really live. The present moment is the only time we can live. And so it was ushering me to, let's get present moment. And you are to share this message. And one of the things that this present moment will do is it will begin to create a wider space that we can tap into and discover the resources needed to navigate and weather these storms of worry, doubt, and fear, because there's a lot of it now, especially fear. Fear is just rampant. And so I start getting present moment. I start doing the simple things. I start just taking an awareness of the breath. I started to do mindful things. Like, for instance, I would go to the park and I would take off my shoes and socks and I would just walk in the grass. And what would happen is it was as if I was plugged into electricity. It was as if start to hear the butterflies and the birds. I started to hear the leaves. It was like a whole nother place of being conscious was missing because I was so deep into the past and the future. And this what now conversation is a clarion call to express the gifts we have been given. I started to take off those things that I've placed on the shelf saying, I'll get to those. You know how those things you'll get to when you get all your prerequisites, when you get money, when you get find someone new, when you get a big paycheck. And I started to do those things. I started to sing like never before. I started to write. I started to finish up my book. I started to do those things. And a whole new level of living began to open up for me. And so I'm extremely excited about this because we're in unprecedented times. I teach the children on Sundays, and one of my little 7-year-old boys, he said, Reverend Leon, can I pray? And I said, yes, you can. And I said, what would you like to pray for? He said, I want to pray for the adults of the world. And I said, wow. I said, what do we need prayer? And he said, what have we forgotten? And I said, what have we forgotten? He says, we've forgotten who we are. And he said, I definitely want to pray for my parents because they're not handling this planetary shift well. He said, they're not handling it well. And I said, wow. And so I want to talk to us about this planetary shift because we have been exposed. And when I say exposed, we have been exposed. And it's important to know that we have been exposed because that's where our focus had to be. At one point, we had no distractions. We had no sports. We have nothing. We just had to focus on it. We had to look at our stuff, so to speak. We had to look at the stuff that we didn't want to look at for years. We had to look at our unconsciousness. We had to look at our racism. We had to look at, and that's from both sides. We had to look at who have we been projecting? What have we been expressing? And it's just not who we really are. And so it's given me time to take a look at things that I didn't want to face. And one of the things that I saw is that most of us are sitting on the tip of the iceberg, thinking that this is all we have. This is all that we have. We look at our bank accounts. We look at our pocketbooks and we say, this is all. But when you exit the tip of the iceberg and jump in the ocean, jump in the water, you begin to see there's tremendous amount of ice waiting for us. But you'll only discover that when you get present moment. You'll only discover that. And so I want to talk about stepping into the unprecedented, stepping beyond this pandemic, so to speak, stepping into uncharted territory, to tap into those latent skills that lie dormant. I want to talk about those hidden abilities. I want to say that we begin to look and see that there are so many layers of us, especially when you get present moment. There's so many layers of us. And we begin to see this pandemic has exposed us to our true connection. We're all connected, and COVID-19 has proven that you and I are connected to that little girl in Calcutta. You and I are connected to those teenagers in Boston and St. Louis. You and I are connected to that older couple in Argentina. We're connected to that beautiful, sweet, um, young 6-year-old in Madagascar. That we're all connected. And you matter. You matter. You matter to every grain of sand, to every blade of grass, to the very air that we breathe. And so it exposed us to get off our assets, let's say it like that, and begin to express these tremendous gifts that we have, express who we are. And so to take our gifts off the shelf and begin to express. And so what now is about getting into the present moment. I taught a class, I've been teaching a class in Virginia Beach. And one of the things that we did is that we would start to do mindful exercises. I think about Thich Nhat Hanh, and Thich Nhat Hanh says, peace is every step. And let's get mindful. Let's begin to not only eat mindfully, and some of you are doing this, because I used to inhale food. I used to, okay, that was it. Let me go on to the next thing. But now I taste the cilantro. Now I taste the olives. Now I taste the basils, and it's a whole different experience. Now I wash my hands, since we got to wash our hands constantly now. Now I smell the aroma. Now I notice the little marks on my hands. Now I take hours now. I won't say literally hours, but I take more time just being mindful as I walk. Like Thich Nhat Hanh says, I'm mindful, and it will expose you. This mindfulness exercises will expose you to another level of living. You become a candidate, a prime candidate for revelation and insight, and you become a prime candidate for the unlimited possibilities that exist for us. And so I'm going to call on you to get mindful. I'm going to call on you to venture into uncharted territory and to uncover the unlimited possibilities that exist for us all. And so what now is the question I ask you. What now? And it's been revealed that, of course, we know that it's the only time that we can live. I invite you to step into this present moment. It's gift wrapped individually for you. I invite you to create a greater opening for God to shine. One of the things that I do with my new company, we have 3 things that we do. And they're T's. It's transcend, to overcome any challenge or problems that you might be facing. And the second one is to transform, to change. But the third one is to transmit. We're here to shine the light of God. Not here to collect, not here to, oh my God, make it happen. I hear people say all the time, well, when are you gonna make it happen? You're not here to do that. We're here to shine the light of God. I love when Ricky sings, more peace, more love, more joy, more joy. I want to be better, an opening for God to make me stronger. And so I'm going to ask you to shine. I'm going to ask you to express what you came here with. And I was speaking to my study group the other day, and I was just talking to them about, what is your cause? What are you passionate about? What occupies your mind? And hopefully not COVID. What is it that keeps you up at night? What is it that you begin to say, this I shall do? So this I shall do to get you out of the way of God, to get your worries, concerns, or your doubts out of the way of God, so God that might have a clear, pristine channel to operate from. I ask that you express and shine the light of what you came here to be. Time and time again, I hear parents say to me, Reverend Leon, this has given me so much more time to spend with my family, to spend with my children, to actually listen. Oh my God, what a blessing to actually listen. Reverend Leon, I've had time now to write my book I've always wanted to do. Reverend Leon, I've started to learn a new language. Make me stronger. Make me stronger. Make me stronger. So that we might expand our purview, so that we might expand the opportunities. So we're not sitting around being spectators. And when I say being spectators, waiting and watching and just sitting, waiting for this thing to open up and change. No, we are the change makers. And so I invite you to get present moment. I invite you to take a risk and get in and get lost into the zone. What is your cause? What are you passionate about? And it doesn't have to be something earth-shattering. What can you do that will make a small, even a small difference in your family, in your community, in your world? I remember when I lived in the Valley, I lived around the corner from an assisted living home, or what was called senior living home. And I noticed every time I would pass the gates, there would be a few of them in wheelchairs, or some would be standing, and they couldn't wait to because I would get involved. Hey, how are you? How's everything? Oh my God, what a beautiful smile. They loved it. They loved it. They loved it. They loved it. And people say, well, what will that do? That's not, it makes a difference to them. In other words, they would say, what difference is that making, Reverend Land? It made a difference to them. And each morning as I passed their gates, there would be more and more of the seniors sitting there, because most of them, they had no visitors. So me waving and chopping it up with them, so to speak. Hi, how are you? Have a great day. It made a tremendous difference to them. I'm going to ask you to take a risk and step into the zone, to step into the flow, like some of the athletes would say. And, you know, the athletes would say, Reverend Leon, I couldn't miss. I was just so much in the flow. You began to step into the unprecedented. You began to step into the unknown. You began to step into the present moment. And one of the things I also want to speak about is that when you step into this present moment environment, you begin to discover some things, some skills, some talents, beauty that you've never known before, many of us, because we're so obsessed with the past. And that's one of the reasons why I love Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. Oh my God. Oh my God. If you but knew who you are, beyond your past, beyond the statistics, beyond the insurance statistics, if you just but knew who you are. That's why I was loving these songs on your early meditations about the Course in Miracles. I was loving these songs. If you but knew who you are. Emerson says it this way: if you but just knew who you are, no sun, no moon, no star could stop you. Nothing could hold you back. Nothing could hold you. If you but knew that, if you just stepped out of your past regrets and trying to fix all of that, which is impossible, and begin to step into this present moment. Oh, what treasures, oh, what joys awaits each and every one of us. And so what is it that brings you joy? When is the last time you got lost in the moment? Unlimited possibilities still exist for us. You know, I check in with some of my my treasured, forgive me, but this conversation brings tears to my eyes. But I check in with some of my treasured mystics, and one was Esther Hicks. And I just wanted to know, what did she have to say about all this pandemic conversation, et cetera, and COVID-19. And I listened to one of her latest talks. And Abraham never mentioned COVID-19. Abraham never mentioned the coronavirus, never mentioned it, not once. Oh my God. Because the principle is the same. It reminded me that the principles God has not changed. Banana trees are still producing bananas. Apple trees are still producing apples. Our sun, our very sun, is still shining. No one doubts that. No one says, oh, I'm wondering when I go to bed tonight, will I wake up to a sun? No one doubts that. It's still shining. It's still happening. I played and I sang with the children. What a wonderful world. I still see trees of green, clouds of white, and the children so resonated with it. And it's interesting that when I teach my 3 to 8, when I teach the small children, no one mentions COVID-19. And I don't remind them either. They go about as if life is still great and the same, and it has not changed. Even when that 7-year-old gave me that profound announcement that pray for my parents because they're not handling this planetary shift well. And then after he said that, he just ran from the computer and he started playing. Started yelling and playing. I'm thinking, wow. I think I'm going to try that today. But God has not changed. And one of the reasons that I love Dr. Ernest Holmes, I'm going to get his quote. Dr. Ernest Holmes said this: the source or cause from which a thing results, a truth which is unchangeable. We first understand a principle and then relate it to our problem for a final test. First, there's only one power. So instead of talking about COVID, people, instead of talking about COVID, let's talk about God. Another mystic said it this way. He said, instead of telling everybody about the pandemic and how many people have died, I want you to go out and tell people how big your God is. Instead of always talking about the problem, let's talk about how big our God is. And so what now? What now for you? I'm going to ask the question again. What now? In spite of all the appearances. And this is not to neglect anybody's pain and suffering. Please let me say that again. This is not to make a denial or do some type of spiritual bypass. Yes, I recognize the pain of my brothers and sisters. That's why we must step up. We must usher in. Like when you go into the old traditional church, and there's the usher with the white gloves, and they welcome you in the church and to your seat. We must begin to be the new ushers for this new paradigm shift. We must be fully awake and aware. We must begin to open our arms and help our brothers and sisters who are having a problem, having a challenge. And it's no fault of their own. It's no fault of your own. I'll go back to that beautiful song. We just didn't know. You're not being punished for it. My sister's extremely sick in Chicago, and she's been asking to speak to me. And I know why, because I've been doing my prayer work, because she's been very ill, and when they took her out of ICU for the third time, she went into a coma. And we just knew that this was we just knew that it was over for her. But I continued to pray. And what I prayed for is that I took her picture from Facebook and I put it on my wall. And every time I would see her picture, the picture was by my bathroom. So every time I would go to the bathroom, I would say divine love, divine healing, perfect pattern. And I would say that every day. And about 3 weeks ago, my other sister was in the hospital visiting with her, and she had her tablet. And my sister came out of the coma, and the first thing she said when she opened her eyes, she said, "Leon." And it was shocking to me because I hadn't seen my sister in 4 years. But I do know that within us is a divine pattern. Within us, I know that there's perfect love. There's perfect rejuvenation, bone turnover. See, when we get present moment, we begin to see that all things are everything. All I need is within me. When we get present moment. And so I just give thanks. I just want to give thanks before. Jennifer never told me how much time I have. And so I don't want to go on, but I do want to say that I'm grateful and thankful for this time of forced contemplation, meditation, forced reflection, forcing us to turn within, forcing us to be accountable. And so I want to give thanks for that. And so, Jennifer, where am I with timing? How am I doing with time?
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay, so I want to do, is it okay if I do a song here?
Yeah, I'm going to do a little meditation. Can you do the song after the meditation?
Yes, I will. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay,
I'm going to
go ahead, Jennifer. What were you going to say?
If you have anything more to say in your talk, go ahead.
Okay.
And then I'll.
And so I'm going to invite you ushers to begin to take hands and to begin to assist our brothers and sisters who are going through it. And we're being called on like never before and right now to begin to know that endless possibilities exist for each and every one of us. And I'm going to encourage our brothers and sisters, if they can, to get current, to get present moment. I talked to a gentleman who was in his 70s. He said, Reverend Leon, what you're saying is so appropriate because I don't think I've ever been present in my life since I was a child. He said, I've always lived in the yesterday. I've always lived in the yesterday, clinging for the future. And so I'm going to ask you to get present moment. I'm going to ask you to know that God so loves us. God so is rooting for us. And that all things are possible for you and me. All things are possible for you and me in the midst of this. And your history is no indication for it. I like to say it this way. I've been now sending, I'm just looking around for it, but I don't find it, I'll get it. I've been sending daily inspirations out to my people. And the inspiration is, my body is no indication of my age. My age is no indication of my potential. My age is no indication of my potential. Uh, Here it is. Where is it? Nope, that's okay. My age is no indication of my potential. I am a infinite, unlimited creation of the divine source, and all of my needs have been met. And so if you forget your age will forget you. If you forget your history, when I say forget your history, I'm not saying forgive. I'm saying let people off. I'm not saying condone people's actions. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying to you is that you begin to start afresh, anew every day. You begin to wipe the chalkboard clean, and you begin to say, good morning, world. And so I'm sharing that with you. What now? And I want you to just really contemplate this week on what now. In other words, what now in terms of my life, in terms of my living, in terms of my awareness. And I'm going to ask you as much as you can to stay out of the past. And I just want to say, and so it is. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. Yes. Well, I am going to invite everyone to place their hand on their heart. Let's turn within here. And let's make this a truly expansive, healing, transformational meditation. It's up to us. There's no one outside of us that's going to do that for us. So we do it for ourselves, and we are grateful. We're grateful to open ourselves to the highest possibilities of love right here, right now. So Reverend Leon has given us so much here. And one of the things I hear most clearly is to go within, get the clear insight, and then be about our Father's business. Be about the business of our Mother, Father, God. If you've been listening to me for a while, you know I say I work for God Incorporated, and it's the best work that we can get. It has the greatest benefits, the greatest profit plan, the greatest insurance, the greatest colleagues and co-workers. As Martin Luther King told us, that we must be tireless co-workers with God, for God. And truly, that's what we're here to do. A Course in Miracles tells us we're here only to be truly helpful. Nothing else. Just that.
Yes.
Helpful. Just that. Nothing else. And we can. We have everything we need. As Leon just told us, it is within us. It's pre-installed. So let us look where we can find it. Let us never doubt that it has been placed there. This enormous potential, this infinite resource has been given to us already. So we are wealthy beyond measure. So it's like Ralph Waldo Emerson told us, to get our bloated nothingness out of the way. So the idea that we're not enough, that there's something wrong with us, that we don't have what it takes, that somehow our magnificence is conditional, or that our ability to be truly helpful is conditional, is insanity. If we were all paralyzed from the neck down, or like our friend Kieran J here, if we were paralyzed to the point where we couldn't see, we couldn't move, we couldn't speak, all we could do would be to click our tongue and indicate yes or no. If we were that incapacitated, by God, we can still serve God in the highest, in the highest. We have everything we need to be truly helpful. We do, we do, we do. So let us not allow circumstances to be in our way anymore. No, so I'm inviting you to look within. Where have you been telling yourself that you could be truly helpful, that you could somehow be more loving, more kind, more magnificent, more prosperous, more this, more that, if only something in the world were to change? Let's stop that right now. Let's be willing to give that up forever and stop telling God that the circumstances won't permit us to fulfill our destiny, that the circumstances of our life have somehow got in our way. And we cannot spend one more moment telling God that our mind is not strong enough to do what we have been designed to do, that we don't have the ability. It's simply that, to remove the blocks to love's presence in our awareness. And God is so good that we don't even have to do that. We just have to be willing to let them go, to let them be removed. Being truly helpful is not some grandiose thing. Nobody has to know what we're doing, when we're doing, why we're doing it. We can be stealth workers, holding in our mind everybody's magnificence. And we can start today with ourselves and then extend next to the person we dislike the most, to the person we blame the most, to the person we fear the most. Let us hold them in our mind as they truly are. Course in Miracles tells us they are our saviors. If we allow it to be, they will save us from illusion and delusion, playing small. We can hold all of our brothers and sisters in the light of love. This is the mind training that we're in. In the Course, Jesus tells us we've been far too tolerant of mind wandering. Let's be clear right here, right now. Where have we been allowing our mind to wander to negativity, to thinking that lack is the state of our union with God, that somehow we've been left out? As Leon told us, we're unprecedented. So it doesn't matter what happened a moment ago, last week, 3 decades ago. Right now, in this moment, we are restored, we are renewed, we are reborn. All we have to do is accept it. So as Reverend Leon sings us this song, let us accept the truth of our being here and now.
So this song is sort of a take on What a Wonderful World. It was recorded many, many years ago in the 50s. And it goes like this. The things that I see as I walk along the street, that's heaven to me. A little flower that blooms in May, a lovely sunset at the end of the day, someone helping a stranger along the way, that's heaven to me. The feeling I have when I hear a touching prayer, it lets me know that God is right here. Even the leaves blowing around in the trees, that's heaven to me. You know it doesn't have to be a miracle for me to see the goodness of my God, 'cause it's everywhere to me. Even the children playing in the streets, they say a friendly hello, hello to everyone that they meet. Even the birds flying around in the air, that's heaven to me. I want to say that again. You know it doesn't have to be a miracle for me to see the goodness of my God, 'cause it's everywhere to me. I know, I know, I know. Even the children playing in the streets, they say a friendly hello, hello to everyone that they meet. Even the leaves blowing out on the trees, that's heaven to me. One more time. That's heaven to me. One more time. That's heaven to me. So it is, yes.
Ah, thank you, Reverend Leon.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Wow.
Thank you for the invite.
We've definitely had a taste of heaven here today. And we're going to do now something that's unusual in a Sunday service. We are going to break into small groups so you can have a chance to share and to make declarations of your intention and to be clear about who are the saviors that Spirit has placed in your life. Who are those people that you find irritating or frustrating, or you get mad when you hear them talking, or you don't like what they're doing and you allow your peace to be disrupted? Who are those people, and have you made any decisions today about how you're going to hold them in your mind, that they really can be your savior because they remind you to choose peace? The folks in my life that have done that for me, they never even knew that's what they were doing. We've never even talked about it, but still they have been the saviors because my thoughts about them kept irritating me and frustrating me until I was truly willing to call upon that higher self, that Holy Spirit self, to have a true healing at the level of the mind. So that's what we're calling forth here. So I'm going to invite you in our time of breakout to share in the small group. It's not very long, but it's an opportunity for you to really set your intention, be clear, and to share in the community here. So we're going to, we've got Lana here. She's helping us to do the breakouts and to run this service today. It takes a whole lot of people to run the service. So come and let's see, Lana's gonna send us into the breakout. You'll see a button up here on your screen, and then click that button. There you go. And we're going to go into our breakouts. If you don't see a button, look on the bottom bar. There should be a breakout room thing on the bottom bar. So those of us who don't go to the breakout, we're going to have a little conversation here. And I'm just going to turn off the cameras of other people right now, just for this time. And let's see here. And I'm going to start here with Kieran J. And I think, Lana, you're going to have to make her a co-host so she can unmute herself. I cannot do that. So we're going to have a little conversation here for the Facebook Live folks. And so Kieran J, I'll get that, and then you could make Faith a co-host here.
Oh yeah, I can. Hello, Jennifer.
Okay.
Oh,
Hi.
hi. Thank you very much, Reverend Leon. I so enjoyed your invitation, your beautiful invitation into the present moment. Very powerful, and it kind of exudes from you. You are demonstrating the presence of the present moment, and I really loved that. Yeah, and I think the thing I'm guided to say, my input, is to echo what Reverend Leon was saying about the profound invitation of these times. It is unprecedented, this worldwide lockdown, and we're all thrown into a new situation. And I see it as so exceedingly powerful, the invitation to go within and to experience the withdrawal symptoms from the world we knew, from how it operated from February back, where you could, travel about and see your friends and, do all the things that we used to do without even thinking about it. I think this is perfection for our healing, perfection as an invitation to experience the withdrawal symptoms. I can't go and see my friends as I used to. I don't go to work, perhaps. I can't just jump on a plane and go somewhere. And see what the gift of that is, because it can bring us back to the mind. The Course says that sickness is about external searching and health is inner peace. The whole Course is about withdrawing our projections from the world and coming back to the mind. So we have this lockdown powerfully supporting us to do that. It's just wonderful. And for myself, I have found it supremely beautiful and powerful to know myself as a mind, far more than I did 6 months ago. We're not bodies, we're minds. And, I play around with, now my life is on Zoom land. I kind of see people on Zoom and then walk in the street and see bodies. So what's the difference? What's the difference between seeing you on a little screen and seeing you in the flesh? There's no difference at all, in truth. We're minds, and we can be joined perfectly now via Zoom. We do not have to be in the same room. And day in, day out, week in, week out, as we have these Zoom experiences and fewer physical meetings, this is the invitation. We're minds. I can be perfectly present with you now. I do not need your body to be present at all. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Let's go this way.
Thank you. That was powerful. Very powerful. Where are you from?
I'm in the UK.
Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're very welcome.
Leon, Karen J is the one I was saying in the meditation that she spent years where she couldn't see, she couldn't move, she couldn't even speak, she could only click her tongue.
Wow.
Extraordinary experience, yeah.
Yes. And what was the breakthrough? What happened that allowed you for the breakthrough?
Well, the two-line answer is forgiveness.
Wow.
I forgave my father for what I still thought at the time he had done. However, I didn't care. I hated my father all through my life because of, you know, the circumstances of my childhood.
Yes.
And that was the absolute turning point. I let it go, and within days, I started to get better. It took 6 years. It was 6 years of inner work, so the whole thing was needed. But that
Wow.
was the final turning point.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
it's been all blessing. I mean, that was a real withdrawal from the world, and it's brought blessing upon blessing upon blessing.
Okay. Beautiful. Wow. I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. Yes. Yes. How long have you been studying the Course in Miracles?
Well, I'm now a Course in Miracles teacher.
Oh yes,
So
I could tell. I could tell you. I could tell. Yes.
This is my passion. This is my joy. This is
Yes, your cause. Yes, it is.
This is my call.
Yes, it is.
And yeah, so it's my life, absolute life, and
And I can really feel that you are going to help usher in a new way of living, because the old is over. And I caution people about saying, well, when this is over, I'm saying, no, if you're thinking about going back to the way it was, it's just not, it just doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist.
yeah, I so agree. Yeah, yeah, something better, something.
Yes,
better
it will.
is
Yes,
calling us.
yes, it will. Yes. So thank you for being an usher.
How about you, Faith? Would you like to share anything? Oh, we didn't make her a
Faith.
co-host. She can't.
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Faith.
She can't. She needs to be a co-host. Lana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't do it. So.
Oh, I think I'm unmuted now. Perfect. It's like miracles, magic, isn't it?
Yes.
The magic of everything around us, you know, is that we forget how magical this really truly is. We're here speaking with, with Kieran all the way in the UK, and here we are. So beautiful, Kieran. I had no idea that you had gone through that. And so you speak so deeply from what it means to be in not a body, to know that, you know. And I think that's such a revelation that we're all getting to here, and this has been that place. And the thing that came up for me, and it really came up with Jennifer's prayer, but Reverend Land, what a beautiful talk about we cannot solve the problem at the level of the problem.
Yes, yes. Yes,
right?
yes,
That
yes.
is just not possible. So we can't go back to where we were before. That's what created this problem that we are in right now.
Yes. Yes.
That is not the solution. The solution, again, is to then, I cannot solve the level of the problem by getting angry and crazy about what's going on politically in our country right now, though it's very easy to get drawn into it. And when I feel myself doing that, I have to come back and go, it is at the level of peace within myself that things will switch and change.
Yes.
That is the only option I have. The only option.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. So that's what came through for me today.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Faith. How about you, Amy? Anything you'd like to share?
Oh, sure. Oh, my goodness. Wow. What a powerful, once again, a powerful Sunday. And thank you so much, Reverend Leon. Oh, my gosh. And it's so timely for me. Just this week, I had a revelation of being present, and I had a whole shift occur in my life where I really recognized how I was just constantly living in the past and thinking that that was true,
Yes.
you know? And then when I
Yes.
finally dawned on me that, oh, wait, no, no, no. I mean, I've heard it before, right? Okay, there's only now, there's only now, there's only now. But I had never really conceptualized, like, I can't take this, me right now, back to 20. You know, my sovereign self is only here right now.
Yes.
And I don't know why, but just this week, I went, oh my goodness, I'm starting anew every day, like you said, and every second, and I don't have to bring the garbage with me. And so my whole, like, even perception, I'm going to say, of the people in my family, or the people around me, I went, they're only showing up because of the story I brought with me, right? So all I need to do now is stay present, ask for the truth. And they show up differently. It's just like, well, of course they do, because I have been bringing this story of this is who my dad is, and this is who my mom, or this is who my husband, or this is who my kids are. And so it's been really, really profoundly healing for me just this week. And then when you brought up about being present, I'm like, yes, even more confirmation of I can do this. It's just, it's a game changer for me. I really understand now how to be more present. And I don't have to bring all the stories with me. I get to start over in every minute.
Beautiful.
And yeah, it's amazing. So thank you for bringing that further home for me.
Yes, yes.
We have to be able to hold the high watch in this more closely than we ever have before, because like this week, I was listening to some of just the facts, the legal facts around the case of Breonna Taylor. And I just started to cry. I just started to weep that this had occurred, that this was the situation in our society. And I had to process my feelings of just feeling hurt and sad because people are behaving in crazy ways. They've lost their minds temporarily. And so just processing that feeling, and then going to, and this is how we're going to make it so much better. And that Breonna Taylor's life has not been wasted or taken in vain, that there's going to be some extraordinary good that's going to
Yes.
come out of this.
Yes.
And that we are going to make ourselves a better society that's more loving and more caring and more conscientious, more attuned to each other's needs. You know, that our sister cannot just lay on the floor bleeding out and no one cares. No, we that is not who we are. And I don't have to be angry at the people who did that. The only reason someone would be in that situation is they have lost their mind temporarily. They have forgotten who they are. Because if they knew who they were, they would be behaving in a different way. And so what we can know is that everyone is remembering who they are. Everyone is remembering what their life is for, to be truly helpful, and to thank our brothers and sisters for helping us to remember the truth of our life, that we cannot be lax about allowing ourselves to just complain and criticize and go, well, what are you going to do? We can't be in that space anymore. That time is over. Like you were saying, Leon, that time is over. It's not where we are anymore. Now there's a fire under our assets, as you were saying. And so good. Let that fire burn. It takes what it takes. And I, for one, am willing to be vigilant over my mind. And anything that is bothering me, like a splinter in my mind, that is causing me to be more vigilant, and I thank God for it. Because I would like to be wholly and completely vigilant over my mind with no mind wandering. And I can do that in the most loving, kind, and compassionate way with myself. You mentioned Thich Nhat Hanh. So I Reverend Leon, I tell people I took a page out of Thich Nhat Hanh's book, and I can say to myself, sweetheart, your mind has wandered. Darling, bring your mind back to the truth.
Yes.
And speak to my
Yes. Yes.
But it's critical now. We don't have the luxury of being dysfunctional anymore.
Oh yeah.
Can I put in something in with that beautiful set of thoughts, Jennifer? I see we can use all the horror, any horror, anywhere, and say, that's the thought system I've chosen. That's the ego thought system. And in choosing to be Kiran J, that's what I've chosen. Maybe not that particular incident, but in choosing to be Kiran J comes all the sickness, horror, suffering that I could ever imagine. So when I see it around me, that's the thought. Do I want that thought system? No, I don't. So it's all very powerful motivation to choose again and come back to the mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I felt inspired to put in there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I don't know how much time we have left, Lana. Leon, would you like to share anything more? Oh, maybe they're coming back now.
I think they said 3 minutes or something. That was a minute ago, 3 minutes.
All right. Would you like to share anything more?
I just wanted to encourage your team here, and I'm excited about your direction. I'm excited about the consciousness that is pervading, and I just want to soak it up. I just want to soak some more of it up, to be honest with you, Jennifer, because I do believe that we are the ones we have been looking for. I do believe, and once we found it, now it's time to do the work. And the great thing about it is that we aren't doing the work. It is the infinite all, it's the great I am that's doing the work through us. And so I go back to my 3 T's, and I love the way you guys are transmitting, because that's why we're here. That's why we're here, to transmit. And I can see the glow on a lot of you guys' faces. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not just saying that. I can see the glow. I can see the glow on some of your faces. And so you're shining. You're shining. And I just want to encourage you to continue to do that.
Thank you. So I'm going to make a few announcements here quickly, and then Reverend Leon's going to give us another song. So one of the things I'd like to say is we do this like a regular church service, where we ask for contributions and donations to support the ministry and to support our ability to make a tithe offering to our musician and our speaker. And we also we have a paid staff at the Power of Love Ministry, because it takes quite a few people to run all the websites, to run everything for all the free classes. Right now, we have a free meditation challenge that we're offering. It's the Kundalini meditation called Kirtan Kriya. And so you can sign up for the Kirtan Kriya meditation challenge. We'll put the link in the chat here and in Facebook, so you can join us for that challenge. People have already started the challenge, and they are already giving us amazing results. If you're here and you're doing the Kirtan Kriya and you've had results with it, please do put something in the chat now to inspire and encourage other people to do it. It's a simple meditation, takes about 15 minutes a day. So that's just one of the many free offerings that we have on an ongoing basis at the Power of Love Ministry. Also, I am probably going to do a spiritual counseling training intensive in November, in person and online. And if you're interested, I need to know, because I'm only going to do it if we get enough people. So we have a survey and you can fill that out. It's on the spiritual counseling training intensive page. So you can learn all about that if you're interested. And Amy has done that. Lana has done that. Other people who are here have done that training intensive. They can tell you about it if you're interested. And you can sign up and make an exploratory call with one of the spiritual counselors, and they can tell you all about it, answer all your questions. Another thing that I'd like to tell you about is that we have a wonderful opportunity to have a master class with Karen J. Gardner. She's right here. It's next Saturday, and I'm going to invite her to tell us about it. Karen J.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Yeah, thank you for this beautiful opportunity to work with students involved in your ministry. This workshop is entitled Forgiving Physical Death, and it's going to be a powerful spotlight on our death thinking. It's quite likely that we are calling to death day in, day out, in many, many ways, and we may have no idea what we're doing. So we're going to be looking at, how am I calling on death? Why am I calling on death? Do I still want to carry on calling on death? What's the alternative? We can call on life, and we'll be looking at how to do that. So it is, it's going to be a very experiential workshop, plenty of exercises and sharing and meditation. Beautiful. So please join us. It's 11 till 5 Eastern time next Saturday. The registration page is on the website, and I hope to see some of you there.
Yes, and we're going to put that link here in the chat as well. So many people have intense issues around death, and here's an opportunity to have a master class from a Course in Miracles perspective. But even if you're not a Course in Miracles person, if you know you've got issues about death, or you just like to have a deep spiritual dive, this is going to be an extraordinary opportunity, I guarantee you. So, and it's, yes, so we've got the link in the chat now. And one last thing I'm going to share is that a great way to donate to the Power of Love Ministry and get a wonderful gift in return is to sign up for the text messages, the spiritual text messages. Inspiration from me, from A Course in Miracles, and you can get daily text messages at acimtexts.com. And you can donate $1 or whatever you like. You can set up a monthly recurring amount, but for as little as $1, you can get those inspirational text messages every day. And so that's just a great way to make a donation one time or a monthly recurring donation. Reverend Leon, how can people best get in touch with you, learn more about your music and your offerings? What's the best way to do that?
Well, it's funny that you say that, because my new website will be available next week at leoncampbelljr.com. But you can also reach me via my Facebook page, and you can also reach me by texting me at this time. I mean, not texting me, but emailing me at leonshines1@gmail.com. That's leonshines1@gmail.com. I could put that in the chat. That's a good start, and then I will let everybody know when my website will be available.
Great, and we can follow you on Facebook.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, I placed my email into the chat.
And you know what? I'm going to tell people too that they can find you singing on YouTube.
Yes. Yes.
Many
Yeah.
times, many times. So there's you can look for Leon Campbell Jr., I guess, on YouTube and see what you can find. Singing with the choir, singing with Ricky, and all kinds of things. Yeah.
Yes.
Lots of good resources.
And a lot of good stuff is coming,
Right.
so please stay tuned. A lot of great stuff is coming.
We look forward to it.
Yes.
And right now, something great is coming because you're going to give us another song.
Yes. What I would like to do, a song by my friend Jamie Lula. And I just want you guys to just, it's a chant, but we're going to sing it together. I'll cue you in, but, and it's one of Jamie Lula's songs, and it goes like this. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. I think joy is calling me. Joy is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Joy is calling us. Joy is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Wisdom's calling me. Wisdom's calling me. Wisdom's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Wisdom's calling. Wisdom's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Love is calling me. Love is calling me. Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Love is calling me. Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Peace is calling me. Peace is calling me. Peace is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Peace is calling me. Peace is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. What is calling you? What is calling you? What is calling you? Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. What is calling you? What is calling you? Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. God is calling me. God is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. God is calling me. God is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Just want you to hum it. Just hum it. Mm-hmm. 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 I want you to hum. I want you to hum it. Mm-hmm. 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 Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. One more time. Something's calling me, and I'm so grateful like I've never been before. And so it is.
It's one of my favorite songs.
Yes, yes, yes.
And isn't it the truth? Isn't that the song that is always singing in our mind? Something's calling us.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Yes,
just a
all the
little
time.
bit deeper. Just a little bit deeper.
All the time. Yeah. So grateful.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us, Reverend
Thank you.
Leon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So glad you came and joined us today.
Yes.
Mm.
Thank you for the invite. I loved my time. Like I said, I loved everything, even the starting meditative music. It was beautiful. I loved it all.
And for everybody else to know, it's so special, really, for those of us who, because Leon and I, we've known each other a long time. We've known each other 20 some years. So we can say we knew each other back in the day.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We both
Yes. Yes.
tremendously.
Yes.
We've grown a lot. We've changed. We've really, and we've also followed our hearts. We followed our dreams, and we went from feeling like, how could I ever do that, right? How could I ever be that spiritual practitioner, counselor, minister? How could I ever be that speaker? I remember back in the day, right? Back in the day when we were in ministerial school, first starting out, you were saying like, no, I don't want to be one of those ministers who speaks. I'm not interested in speaking. I'm
Yes.
just interested in the
Yes.
so
Yes. I remember
to
that.
speak.
I said I would never take a pulpit, would never take a pulpit, you know?
So yeah, so you've been speaking for many, many, many years now, and we're so glad that you do.
Thank you.
And it's wonderful that we can let go of all limiting thoughts and beliefs, put spirit in charge, and be the living demonstration. And we're doing it perfectly, even if in the moment we feel like, oh, it could be a little better or whatever. We're still doing it perfectly and learning, growing every day. And I say that to inspire people because, I mean, we both had to work through that thought in our minds that who am I to share? Who am I to say something? Who am I to stand up in front? Who am I? Who am
Yes.
I? Well, and so what's the answer to that, Leon?
Who am I not to say? Who am I not to say it? I guess that's where you're going. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So thank God we both got over that.
And also, Jennifer, God laughs at our responses anyway. God laughs.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So I can, Leon and I used to pray early in the morning, day after day after day after day
Yes.
together
Yes.
on the phone. And we used to laugh about how God invented laughter, so we might as well
Yes.
laugh it up.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I don't know if you know this, Leon, but in A Course in Miracles, it says the whole problem that we have in this world is we forgot to laugh.
Yes. Yes.
We've-
Yes. Yes.
And we
Yes.
started taking ourselves so seriously.
Yes. Yes.
So
I
thank you.
thoroughly agree. Okay. Thoroughly agree.
All right. Well, we're going to let Amy pray us out. And just before she does, I would like to say thank you to Lana, who's been here behind the scenes, making it all possible, along with GJ, who's been doing our community support today, answering emails and helping people with passwords and chats and things like that. And thank you both for your service. And thank you to Sean and all the other people who work on this service and make it possible for us, Linda and Arthur and Christine and Zyra, everybody who works on this service. Thank you so much for your love and support and your energy. And thank you, Amy.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Thank you, everyone. And may I just say, probably on the behalf of all of us, that we're also glad, Jennifer and Leon, that you did say yes. Take
Yeah,
the
thank you.
pulpit.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. All right, placing our hand on our heart if it feels good to do so. Taking a few deep breaths of grace and gratitude. So grateful and thankful to have all these wonderful reminders today from Reverend Leon and Jennifer, Reverend Jennifer, to shift our focus, to become present, to really let go of the past and the future, and really be here now. So grateful and thankful to remember that we have everything we need to be truly helpful and to serve God in the highest. So grateful to remember to be loving, kind, more prosperous. We do have everything we need to fulfill our destiny. Now is the time to stand in our sovereignty, to remember who we are and from where we came. We are here to express the gifts we have been given by God. There is nothing we have to do but accept the truth of our being. As Reverend Leon reminded us, we are the change makers. Time to join hands with our brothers and sisters and help each of us remember the truth, remember the love, remember God. To be vigilant over our minds. We are here to usher in a new way of living, a higher way of living. We are here to transcend, transform, transmit.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, with God, all things are truly possible. In gratitude and in so much shine, we let it be. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Love you all. Love you.
Amen. Yes, and thank you. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Leon. Mwah.
Thank you. Thank you,
everybody, for
Jennifer.
joining.
Love you guys. Love
Okay.
yes.